Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is the day. I'm a little bit slow, but we just got the big update 1.2.2 for Civilization VII, and now it is time to do the obligatory update review video. Please bear with me. I do have some interesting thoughts on this, so if you're just clicking on this and thinking, oh wow, clickbait video, yeah, I mean that's fair. Well, that's fair. Clickbait video, it is what it is. But I do have some interesting thoughts. This is not going to be a super visual video. If you just want to listen to it, that probably might be better. We're just going to read through the notes and go through all these featured things. There are some things that I really like about this patch, and there's some things that I'm not too big of a fan of about this patch. I do have some controversial opinions here. But let's get into it. And please note that this little star icon means that it was something that was influenced by the community, a community request. And we'll talk about that. First, large and huge map sizes are in. That's okay. I mean, I have no strong feelings about this whatsoever. I don't really play on large or huge maps. I tend to play the standard maps. But like, I understand why the community wants this so much, and I also sort of understand like why it wasn't in at base. A lot of people are saying things like, oh, this should have been a base game feature. And yeah, I agree with you. It should have been a base game feature. But the devs did explain, like, it just, the way the systems were set up, the way the maps were designed, it was not able to be balanced on a large and a huge map size. And we didn't have enough civs. We didn't have enough leaders. So yeah, I can see why it wasn't there. Does that mean that it should have been sold for as much as it was sold as without this sort of like base game feature? Yeah, I agree with the community being upset by it, but they finally put it in. The Nintendo Switch 1 version does not even get the standard map size. So if you bought on the Switch, that was the worst mistake you've ever made. You shouldn't have bought Civ 7 on the Switch. They can't even support standard, so I'm sorry for you guys. But because they've added in large and huge, they've had to add in a few other things. Next, we have the new advanced game options. I really don't care about this at all. You can change like the deity AI bonuses. Like, what do they get? Combat bonuses? Do they get science bonuses? Economic bonuses? All those things. You can turn on and off legacy things, the legacy pathways, and you can change the crises. The legacy pathways thing, turning on and off, I really don't understand why it's there. This is the community influence thing yet again. I really don't understand why it's there. The AI bonuses thing, I also don't understand why, but I'm not complaining about this. I just am like super apathetic towards it because it's not something that I'm going to really be messing around with too much on my end. I enjoy the difficulty of the game as it is right now. I think it's a little easy to some degree in some ways. I will like being able to choose my crises. I'll turn off that stupid happiness crisis, but you know what? I could just say, get good, bro, and learn to play around it, but like, that makes me sound like I hate this change. I don't hate it. I think it's good for the game overall. Because this is a strategy game, and I like the idea that we're able to choose, like, we are able to tweak the difficulty and choose how we want to set it up. That's fine. It's great for multiplayer games. You're playing with your friend, you're playing with your family. This is really good. So, you know, I'm giving them their flowers for this. This is props. Even though I don't sound too enthused about it, it's just because it's not a system that I'm going to be interacting with very much, but I see a lot of people would probably interact with it, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I wish they would put in hot seat finally so I could interact with my fiance. We could play this together, but whatever. Whatever. New bonuses for religions, city-states, and towns. This is pretty big. We're going to get into this a little bit later, but this is huge. I think this is like the biggest part of the update. Really huge. And finally, modding's in, the workshop's in. I don't know if I'm going to switch over to the workshop mods yet and get rid of my Civ Fanatics mod manager thing, but yeah, workshop's finally in, which should have been there at launch. I agree with the community on that. That should have been involved at launch. New loading screen. I think this is nice to a degree. I'm also, you know, not to toot my own horn here, but does anybody recognize, you know, my thumbnail style? Did they? I'm not saying they ripped off my thumbnails, but you know, maybe somebody on the dev team watches STG sheep videos. whatever. It's just the most obvious thing to do. I think this looks a lot better. This is nice. This is much better than it was. And this is a good AI tweak or UI tweak. One thing I would say, like, yeah, traditions. It shows your traditions on this screen, which is fantastic. I think it's very important to show what's on that civic tree into the loading screen. However, it doesn't show the civic bonuses. It just shows the traditions that you can carry on. It doesn't show those civic bonuses. And honestly, the civic bonuses can be the strongest thing about a civ in a particular era. So, for example, if you were playing, Hawaii, the marine terrain thing, I'm pretty sure is a civic bonus instead of a tradition. And, you know, you're going to be missing out on a lot of information. Just having the traditions there. Why not list the civic bonuses as well? If you had to scroll anyway to see the traditions, why not list the civic bonuses? I'm positive for this change. I think it looks a lot better. I keep seeing all the hate online, like, oh, it's low res, it's low poly. Oh, Photoshop can do a lot better. Yeah, whatever, guy. Design your own game. But I think it looks nice. It looks good at a glance. The UI is a lot better, a lot cleaner. You get a lot more information, and that's important. But I just don't understand why all the information isn't there. Give us all that information. Stop hiding the civic tree information away. Just pop it in there, guys. Also, the new voiceovers. Yeah, finally. I'm glad that we got some new voiceovers from Miss Christie here. I think she's a good voiceover artist. I think she has a really like captivating voice, but it was just used so sparingly that it was surprising. This is one of those things that I was really disappointed in at launch. I think AAA games like this need polish. If you're gonna be charging me so much money, you gotta have some polish. Like indie games, I understand being a little rough around the edges, but this, like the voiceover stuff, this is stuff that should have been in there from game day one. Why didn't Everest, a DLC that I paid for, have a voiceover? Why didn't it have a voiceover? And now it does, hopefully. So please, good. Give us more. Make her do more. Pay her more. Do something. Get some more voiceover work in there. Now let's go through these notes a little bit closer. The legacy path thing, that's fine. They added technology into modern age so you can actually get nukes without the military legacy path. I didn't even clock at first that they were separated. So it's important that they've added that in. That's pretty good. Disable the score victory. Yeah, that's just to stop the AI from winning if you can't win. That's all that does. Custom AI difficulty, that's fine. We've already talked. I think that that's okay, right? I think that it's good to give you more strategic options. That's pretty good. This is something that I really am not a fan of right here. Added an option to bypass civilization unlocks. So I'm glad it is an option. I'm glad it's an option and it's not forced, because I understand that people want to play how they want to play. But I want my strategy games to have some challenge. And like one of the only challenges in the game is unlocking those civs that you want to unlock. If I want to play as the Qing, I need to find 3 Jade. And that's usually easier than a lot of other unlocks. But sometimes you get a map where you don't get those 3 Jade. It helps shape my game. If I don't have those 3 Jade and I want to play the Qing, I gotta go to war. I gotta go to war and I gotta find it. So like I'm probably never clicking this option, because there's something down later that gives you way more chances to play every civ, which we'll talk about. Land-based treasure convoys. This is a big change. Treasure fleets are now unlocked immediately. You don't have to go to shipbuilding, which is fantastic. Shipbuilding was too far into the tech tree, I think. I didn't mind having to unlock shipbuilding. Like, I don't mind that it's tech gated. I think that's okay. But the thing I had a problem with was shipbuilding was so deep in there. You had to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, maybe techs before you could get to shipbuilding. And that's like turn 50. And then you had to settle. And then you had to wait 8 turns after you settle. Then you had to move everything. It took too long. But now they're started right from the beginning. They do get dangerous seas damage. You gotta have to pay attention to that. You don't need a fishing key anymore. You can get them from inland cities, which is phenomenal because how many times did you ever settle an inland city that wasn't on a navigable river? You really didn't. You really, if you went to the distant lands, you invaded coastal settlements, and that was it, which is flavorful, and I really liked that flavor. But this just gives you more chance to do the treasure convoys. I don't know. I would like to see a mod or something where you like start with ships immediately and then you get like convoys later at a different tech. I don't know. But I think this is a good change. It does nerf fishing keys a little bit, I think. You're not going to be getting as many fishing keys as you previously did, but whatever. This is great. You're still going to have the dangerous oceans. You're still going to get damaged by stormy seas. You got to pay attention to that, but you can get them. They can cross land. They can switch over to water. When you get to water, they're really good. The AI now repairs damaged buildings properly. That's good. Better negotiating peace deals. That's really good because sometimes they just give you whatever. They will give you the whole world in a peace deal. No longer builds duplicate buildings. That's pretty cool because sometimes I saw that happen and it was really frustrating. The AI now prioritizes attacking your treasure convoys, which is going to be good to help slow those down. AI civs will no longer build multiple settler units and not use them. Yeah, because I've seen like 8 settlers running around before. It's crazy. Cities and towns. This is a huge update for this patch because we get new town focuses. Resort town gives you happiness and gold on tiles with natural happiness. This is for like your natural wonders. 50% yields on natural wonders in this town. And this is fantastic. How many times have you got a Great Barrier Reef or a Torre de Paine city and you just don't know what to do with it? You don't want to turn it into a city because you didn't settle it for like a lot of space. You didn't settle it with a lot of production. You literally just settled it to get the natural tiles. So what do you turn it into? You're not working farms. You're not working mines. You're working those natural wonder tiles. And now this resort town like gives you a reason to specialize that town. It's fantastic. I really think this is important. It's really good. And this is sort of like the best thing I think out of this cities and towns update. This is huge. Urban center gets redesigned. It used to be 1 science and culture on districts with 2 buildings, but I think it was only for districts from that age, quarters from that age. I don't think if you had a city that was previously a city and you didn't make it a city in the exploration age or the modern age and you made it an urban center, I don't think it counted. So, you know, this was sort of like a dead cities or town specialization. Now it's 100% gold and happiness towards building maintenance. So it's expensive. No, not expensive. What am I talking about? It's you get like cheaper maintenance and you can buy libraries, baths, and monuments. Like I think it's the first tier buildings. I don't think you can get the second tier buildings, your lighthouses or your amphitheaters and your academies. I haven't tested that though. If you are able to do that, then this is kind of like a shadow nerf to Augustus, and I think it is sort of a shadow nerf to Augustus overall, because Augustus's ability is to buy the culture buildings in all your towns, and you don't have to be an urban center for Augustus, but really like you're still getting the food bonus if you go into an urban center. You're just not getting the extra food on your plantations, or you're not getting the extra production on your mines. You're still just getting the food though from having the town specialized. This is going to make I feel like the AI is going to go for this a lot, and this is going to make your yields, like your science yields, your other yields, sort of shoot up for no gold investment or less gold investment at first, but it's going to be less efficient than just converting to a city over time. I think you're still going to want to convert to as many cities as possible. The city meta is probably still going to be sort of the top of the tree. But it is useful if you don't want to convert something to a city. If you have like a little crappy settlement that doesn't have as much space, you can still buy a library, you can still buy a monument, and it helps. It's pretty useful. I like it. Some other town focuses get adjusted. Religious site, that's the exploration, used to be 2 happinesses and a relic slot on a temple. But now it's a happiness on all buildings and a relic slot on temples. That's pretty good. It gives you just more happiness. More happiness in an era where happiness is pretty important because you're expanding a lot. Factory Town used to be 100% gold towards purchasing a factory and 1 resource slot, and now it's that plus 5 trade range. That's okay. In the modern era, you're kind of trading all over the world anyway. So I don't really see the purpose of this other than just like that little extra little scooch. If you need just that little extra bit, it's okay. Mining Towns got buffed by 1 production in every era, which gives you a little bit more gold. Hub Towns got nerfed, but not actually. We're going to talk about this later. Hub Towns look like they got nerfed because the influence game was so strong that it was like city-states were the way to play. However, there's going to be a change later that's going to counteract this, and city-states are still going to be the way to play. City-states are still going to be the best way to play the game. Greece, Tecumseh, Shawnee into Siam is still going to be the strongest bunch, I'm sure. Port towns do get changed also to you can purchase walls everywhere, and nobody's still going to build this. Not unless you're playing multiplayer, I think. Independent powers and city-states got changed. This is pretty cool because it adds new city-state bonuses, and I like this. I really like this. City-states are my favorite way to play the game, and they're the strongest way to play the game. City-states are kind of a little busted right now, and because they've made the maps bigger and added more players, you need more potential city-state things because they go away for every suzerain city-state, right? So you need more. And some of these are repeatable, so multiple people can choose it, which makes sure that everybody gets a chance to get something from choosing a city-state, which is cool. And these are going to make some leaders like Freddy and like Catherine really strong, I think. Lingua Franca right here, 2 science on codices. That's pretty good. Archimedes Screw, science on warehouse buildings. You're going to see this a lot. Every era has a science or a culture on a warehouse building thing, and I like it. It's pretty good. It just makes like building warehouse buildings feel better. And so, yeah, scientifics get the science on codices and science on buildings. Militaristics get a settlement limit, which is really strong. And then the best one, I think, is +1 war support, and this can be taken by multiple civs. Harriet Tubman's gonna go nuts. If you play like a Greece, Shawnee, Siam game with Tubman and you get all the militaristic city-states and you get like her +5 naturally, then you get the +1 from the military tree, then you get the +2 from the Gate of All Nations, and you're looking at 7, 8, 9 already, and then you pump this up like 4 times, get 4 of those. Yeah, anybody declares war on you, their economy's tanked immediately. So that would be great. When they start adding, I'm sure in the future that they're going to add like a loyalty happiness mechanic, and they're going to make like negative happiness have like real actual consequences, and that's going to be really busted at that point. Economic city-states give you resource capacity. That's fine. I never really struggle too much for resource capacity, but I do play like a lot of like, I play like a lot of like Carthage recently. I've played a lot of just, I don't really have too much issue with resource capacity. Gold on warehouse buildings, that's the standard. Culture on codices, culture on warehouse buildings, that's pretty fine. When you go into exploration, it changes to specialist. Science on specialist, pretty good. Pretty good. +1 settlement war support. Gold on treasure resources is meh. I think that the economic city-states really got the short end of the stick here. But Lapis Lazuli is really strong, so maybe that makes up for it. Lapis is strong. I think Cloves is not as good, so I don't think this gold on treasure resources is really paying for that. Shimin, 1 culture on specialists, 1 culture on culture buildings. This is pretty good. So it looks like scientific and cultural city-states, you know, they take the lion's share of the buffs here. And then modern just gets science on factory resources. I like that for someone like Qing. Settlement resource capacity with factories, and 3 culture on displayed artifacts. This is just fine. All of this is fine. Specialists, though, do get nerfed. So, like, all the stuff that gave you, like, a boost to specialists kind of got cut in half. Like, free speech went from 100% food and happiness to maintain specialists to 50. And then you'll see, like, this everywhere. 50% food and happiness down to 25. 15% food and happiness down to 10%. So, like, this is supposed to rein in the power of specialists, but they didn't actually like reduce specialist yield. very much, so it's not going to do much to Specialist Play. Specialist Play is still going to be strong. It's still going to be strong, still going to be really good. I don't see too much point in this, because it's not really going to change how I play the game. I don't think. So, I don't know. They know something that I don't, but I don't see too much point in that. Now into some really interesting stuff. Removed gold maintenance from the Spanish building, the steel mill, and the... This is the Chola building, I think? These are buildings that give you gold. So they just took the gold maintenance off of them. Removed happiness from the garden, the Chiguan, the Cathédrale, and the Jardin à la Française. Are these happiness buildings? No, these are food buildings, right? They might be happiness buildings. So they're just removing the maintenance for the yield that the building gives you. Finally, Safet's now gives you bonus yields to specialized towns when slotting in the policy. That didn't work previously. Tiles and settlements without a beret now get pillaged. I did get to abuse that. I did get to abuse that in the game recently, where I wasn't building the berets, but I still wasn't getting the flood damage as the Kumai. Aerodromes and rail stations can no longer be built on top of each other. I don't like this. Why not? Just let us do it. And by the time you get to modern age, some cities just don't have enough space. So just let us put these on top of each other. Terrace Farm is now updated, and instead of giving gold on itself, it gives gold to adjacent buildings. Instead of receiving the gold, it gives the gold, which is fine. It doesn't change it too much. It just spreads out. You can, yeah, it just spreads it out a bit. It lets specialists, that's what it does. It lets specialists build gold. That's pretty good, actually. World Wonders cannot be built on the same tile. Opera House now counts as a diplomacy building. You can now purchase after building a Jaguar trap, blah, blah, blah. Salt and Truffles finally fixed. Salt and Truffles finally fixed. That makes them okay. Age transition. This is the thing that I want to talk about that I don't like. All leader recommended civs are now unlocked by default during age transition, and I hate this. Honestly, I don't like this. This is a community change. Again, I wish this was just an option and not a default, because, like, yeah, Hawaii was a pain to unlock. I admit that fully. Spain was a pain to unlock. But the quest, the mini game that you went on to unlock those things was fun. And now, like, everybody gets Spain. Everybody gets Spain as a recommended. Hawaii is recommended to multiple leaders. So, like, it just makes some of the more unique and interesting civs, like, less interesting, because I'll just get it every time now. Abbasids, yeah, Abbasids are going to be way more available to everybody at this point. You don't need the camels anymore. If you have a science focused like Ada Lovelace, I think Benjamin Franklin kind of gets them as a suggested civ. You just get them now. It's any, like, in my historical civ series, right, where you have the geographic choices, strategic choices, and historical choices. Any of those are automatically unlocked for you now as you go through the game. This is huge. Reconciliation now usable with multiple leaders. Fantastic. Because reconciliation took a long time to do. This is just fantastic. I like this. I really like this. They fixed continental systems relationship penalty to be a denounce. That's fine. Doesn't change bad Napoleon too much. Environment. All map types now guarantee enough traversable ocean tiles near the poles. No more getting stuck. Fantastic. This is great. This is the best change of the whole game. No more getting stuck. No more. A few fixes. Pet the dog. And we like that. We like to see pet the dog. It's cool. It's cool. Military, there's a few changes here. Nothing that makes me go like, whoa, huge, until we get down here to religion. Here we go. 2 new pantheons. Trickster God, 25% influence towards endeavors and sanctions. And this pantheon can be chosen by multiple civs. That's pretty good. 1 happiness on resource and settlements with an altar. This is also pretty good. And this can be taken by multiple people. You don't lose this pantheon. It's taken by multiple people. I don't think these are particularly strong. I don't think that they're crazy. They're not, you know, as good as like the Stone Circle still, but this is good. I like being able to get this bonus here. New religious beliefs are added into the game. A clock, 1 relic for first time conversion of one of your cities. Good. If you have played super wide, in the ancient era and you have your 12 cities, you can finish Toshkana. This is good. I like this. It gives you a reason to convert your cities. This might be the best one now at this point, because you don't have to go find any other capitals or anything. It's a little slower, maybe. I don't know. I feel like if I played wide and I have my 12 settlements in the Antiquity era, this is the best one. You want to take it. The AI is going to gun for this every time. 2 relics for the first time conversion of a holy city. Multiple civilizations can take this. This is fine. Doesn't change much. It's just guaranteed. You can always get this. 2 relics for the first time conversion of a settlement with 3 specialists. You can also always get this. Every settlement that's an urban settlement or a city is going to have 3 specialists. 2 relics from the first kind of conversion of a natural wonder. That's all fine. Nobody's losing out or gaining much by this. This is all fine. Let's talk about these founder beliefs, because this is where something happens that I want to talk about. All buildings receive 1 happiness adjacency with the temple. That's okay. Happiness can be pretty strong. 4 production in your settlements following your religion. Yeah, that's good. That is good. This might be the best founder belief if you're not playing for city-states. We're going to talk about that one in a minute, but this is great. I'm going to be taking this a lot. I'm going to be choosing this a lot. 4 production is a lot of production. That's a barracks. That's an armory in the exploration age. What? It's a dungeon. It's a low adjacency dungeon. It's no specialist bonus on it, right? But it's just having an extra dungeon. Feed the world 6 food in your settlements. That's good for like Pachakudi. Here we go. 2 influence for every foreign settlement following your religion. 1 influence for each of your settlements following your religion. So developers, you complained that the hub towns were giving us too much influence, and you're giving us influence here. Yes, it's not as much as we were getting from hub towns, but it can scale. It can scale. If you're able to convert, when I played my Hawaii game, I converted what, 67% of the world? It was like 20 foreign civs, so that's 40 influence per turn, and then it was like another 20 of my cities, so that's 60 influence per turn. That's how much I get off of a couple of hub towns. Yes, it's more work. I'll give them that. It's more work, and it only comes to 1 person. That's fine. You know what? I was like super negative on this. Now sitting and talking this through myself, it's fine. This is fine. And it only goes to 1 civ. You have to take this if you want to play big time city-states. So that's a little limiting, but it's okay. 3 science, culture, and happiness, and gold, and influence on the temple in your holy city. That's it's just God King. It's fine. It's okay. +1 influence for every nav, river, tile, and foreign settlements. That's cool. That's okay. Enhancer beliefs. 2 missionaries when you build a wonder. This could be built by multiple civs. I mean, it's just giving you, it's saving you production. You're putting the production you would put towards a missionary into a wonder, and it's just fine. Relic slots on science buildings is cool, especially if you're going for the 1 relic for the first time conversion of your cities. You just get like 1 temple as the Abbasids, and then you can go Parampara and just get Toshkana as the Abbasids. Treasure convoys gain movement, 1 free war support against enemy religions. That's all good. That's all good. Yeah, I think this is a huge change towards religion, and I really like it. It just gives you more options. It doesn't like deter from anything, doesn't take anything away, and gives you more options. It's nice. Now let's get down in here to the base. The last stuff I'm going to talk about is the leader and civ changes. Isabella gets nerfed. Big fat nerf. Big fat nerf. People are saying like, oh, this is not a big nerf. It's a gameplay change, and it's a positive gameplay change, but it's a big fat nerf. Because you used to get, what was it? 100% extra yields on a natural wonder, and you were spawning next to natural wonders most of the time. And 100% yield from the first turn of the game most of the time, right? So it was very, very strong. And now it is, her extra yields are 50%. And it stacks 50% per natural wonder in your empire. So it gives you this mini game where you're going and hunting down natural wonders. So it's a big nerf. 100% is better than 50%, but you can end up with like 400%, right? So it's a exploration age sort of mini game that's pretty fun, but it is a nerf. Let's make no mistake. But it doesn't hurt her. It doesn't kill her. at all. She's just not going to be the very best in the game. You also go to 100 gold per age, away from 300 gold per age, so you can't buy an immediate settler. That's a pretty big nerf too. That's a pretty big nerf too. She just had sort of the strongest start in the game, and it kind of like made it too trivial if you were playing as Isabella. I didn't like playing her for that reason. Inca Chapagnan now gives you Homeland Treasure Convoys worth 2 points in cities with at least 3 mountains. Yes, give me more civs that break the legacy pathways. Don't remove the legacy pathways. Give me more civs that interact with those legacy pathways. I am down for this, 100% down for this, and it makes me want to play the Inca even more. Now that I do this, yeah, or you go Inca, you get all the mountains, and you don't even go to the distant lands. You don't go for navigable rivers. You just build these treasure convoys in the mountain. That's cool. That's great. And Crossroads of the World DLC Carthage. City Hall now gains 1 great work slot after unlocking Sicilian Wars while playing as Catherine. And it's just a fix. I think it's just a fix so that Catherine can get her her bonuses in. Overall, big thing here. I like this patch. I like the fact that there's a lot of options added in for people who want the options. I like the fact that they're sort of nerfing, but not like murdering. Like the first round of nerfs were heavy, bro. They killed Hawaii. They killed that Isabella's Padron Real memento. They murdered things, and they didn't give us any options in return. And this time, I feel like it's a soft nerf bat and more of a change. It's not a regression, but a turn of a corner for a lot of civs. Yes, Isabella got nerfed. Yes, influence gameplay got nerfed. But instead of getting removed, it got changed. Now you get your influence through your religion, and you have to try to get that religion. Now Isabella scales up even more, but she doesn't start so strongly. And I think it's great. I think the dev team is really taking our feedback into account here, and they're really trying to make this a good game. Should it have started as a great game? Yeah, but hey, they're not abandoning it, and I appreciate that. Let me know what you think of the patch in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.